Nidhi, you want to start?
Yep. Is my mic working?
Are we audible?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So I am Nidhi. I'm the Global Alliance Manager at Xebia, and along with me, I have Varun Jain, who heads the Financial Services wing of Xebia. We didn't get time to prepare for, or maybe we just missed it with respect to the demonstration about what Xebia is. So I would not like to take that into a slide mode, but I would rather like to converse with you and try to make you understand who Xebia is. So Xebia is a 2001 founded IT company which provides consulting services and even IT services across the different 6 service lines that they have. Number 1 is data and AI. Number 2 is digital transformation. Number 3 is intelligent automation. We also have agile DevOps service lines and a different product line, so to say. We have across the globe 19 locations where our offices are present. We were primarily a Dutch-based company based out of Hilversum, Netherlands. And if I talk about India as a region, we are present across 7 cities in India. If I talk about the leading banks of India, which obviously I cannot name due to NDAs, we are literally partners and providing consulting services to different banks across the globe, right? And also to India. We are literally a $500 million company, and our aim is to become $1 billion company by 2025. And within that bracket of revenue that we attain, 45% of that revenue is attributed to just BFSI vertical, right? So with the likes of you across the globe, we have been able to achieve numerous revenue streams just coming from the BFSI vertical. So without further ado, I would like to give it over to Varun Jain to commence the presentation with the future now, understanding and orchestrating a unified experience layer that is powered by intelligent automation and the AI experiences clubbed together to provide an extreme unified experience for the customer and the employees. Over to you, Varun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nidhi, for that. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Nice to meet you all at this event. So today, we have taken a couple of a particular use case that we wanted to discuss with the group here and call out that how Xebia is addressing this use case for its customers across the globe, right? So we have taken into consideration a journey of a customer, right? If you look at our end customer today, a retail banking customer, so a customer can reach out to his or her bank through multiple touch points, correct? So there are self-service options which are available to the customer. He can reach out to a physical branch. There are relationship managers, call center agents, and of course there are DSAs or outsourced agents to whom the customer ends up talking. Now typically, if we look at it, each of these interfaces, while have their own advantages, each of them come with their own sets of challenges, right? So if you look at self-service today, right, from a bank which is offering or a financial institution which is offering multiple products, accounts, deposits, payments, investments, insurance. So typically it ends up, the entire journey is broken across multiple apps or multiple websites for a customer to kind of have a full overview of the portfolio. So while a lot of banks have started moving in that direction, but there's a unified view which is missing today, right? Branches, at the branch when you go, the branch servicing agents are toggling across multiple applications, right? They are not able to fulfill to the customer query or do the complaint redressal on the fly. Most of them end up being drop on the floor service requests. The RM, while he reaches out to the customer, when the customer reaches out to the RM, either ways the communication is not powered by data, right? So if a customer calls out to the agent, relationship manager asking for a particular requirement, generally the information will be, I'll get back to you. Or if the RM reaches out with a particular cross-sell, then he's only interested in selling what he has, and there sometimes customers' actual need gets lost in translation, right? Call center agents also are working on limited insights. They are able to capture service requests. Sometimes you end up getting the call from the same entity multiple times during the day when you have already said that, sorry, I'm not interested in this project. So somewhere data is not tying up together, right? And lastly, agents, the fleet on street, they end up recording information on a tablet or a notebook, and again the fulfillment is delayed. If a customer says that I want something now, the agent may or may not be in a position to onboard the customer on the fly. So see, these are some of the challenges that we see today. And then where does the opportunity lie? So essentially the opportunity lies in three areas, right? The first opportunity is how do we consolidate these disparate systems and data points and build a unified view of a customer for the bank, be it any actor within the bank, a call center agent, an operations person, a salesperson. How do we tie the entire customer story or customer view on a one single interface for that person? Second, how do we leverage the power of AI to build very, very customized, very, very personalized experiences for the consumer? I get to see what I want. My recommendations are personalized. My nudges are personalized, right? When I speak to an agent or a branch a person, he or she knows what my needs are, what my portfolio is, and so on, right? And lastly, automation. There are so many processes and workflows. Some of them have been automated, some of them are still manual in nature, some are a mix of physical and digital. How the power of automation to kind of bring it together, bring in efficiencies, and make the overall experience of the customer much more satisfactory, right? So in this direction, Nidhi, if we can, what Xebia has built is a unified experience layer. So we work with customers across the globe, and by virtue of the work that we have done for these customers over a period of half a decade, we have built a unified experience layer which is powered by intelligent automation tools, AI accelerators, which Xebia has built on the core systems of the bank. I'm not sure how legible it is, but I'll probably just give you a walkthrough. So typically what sits at the center in the bank is the core banking system, right? And on one side are other satellite systems. It can be a loan origination system, it can be a loan management system, content management system, document management system, and whatnot. And on the other side is how the entire data lake of the bank, which can have documents, it can have data stores across the system. And then there are multiple external interfaces. It can be payments, it can be regulatory and compliance, or it can be any outsourced services like deliverables and whatnot. And then what we are talking about is a unified experience layer which takes care of partners, customers, and employees through one single platform, right? And this platform is capable of all the features that we are calling out here. It connects the systems together, it automates processes, it helps in building a real-time customer 360 and whatnot. We can move to the next slide. Now, from what we decided that instead of making it just a presentation, we will probably give you a quick demo of how we have brought this entire capability to life, right? So we'll talk about two platforms today. One, what we call as CXP, which is a customer experience platform, and the other one, which is called EXP, which is an employee experience platform, right? So coming to the customer experience platform, this platform is a one-stop shop for the customer to manage his entire set of products and services which he has signed up with a particular entity. And what do we build on top of it? We have built multi-product onboarding, comprehensive AI intuitive dashboards, recommendations, and next best actions which are highly personalized, and PFM capabilities, and 40 plus routine processes which are required for a customer to manage his or her life cycle, right? Now these are certain accelerators which we have built during this journey, and as we go through the demo, I'll try to showcase you that where some of these accelerators are coming into play. So to begin with, this is a typical login page. So what you say here is an MPIN option. We have also enabled biometric. So this is completely powered by the authentication and authorization framework that we have built and plugged into the system. As we move forward, typically today when you land on any robust banking app, you typically have a hero card. This hero card gives a quick view of your entire portfolio, what accounts you have, what cards you have, what insurances you have, what loans you have, all of that listed in a quick summary, easy to read, followed by different widgets. And these widgets are again personalized. So if you are only holding a bank account with a customer, you will see the accounts widget and the cards widget and the payments widget. If you have investment insurance, then you'll see those widgets, right? And then there are these offers. these offers are powered by our hyper-personalization engine. So let's say this customer stays in Mumbai, and this has been identified from his KYC address, his PIN code, and this is the month of August when it rains heavily in this time of the year. And hence the offer, which you can see here, is a monsoon offer for this particular customer. Right? So this is powered by our hyper-personalization engine. Nidhi, if you can. And then we do a quick deep dive in each of these. And yeah, this is the hamburger menu, right? Again, very standard offerings here. This is just pulling the data from various systems and making it available on a one single simple interface. I'll probably like to call out the choose language option, where we have built this application using multilingual capabilities. So all popular, commonly used languages in this particular geography are supported on the platform. And this we have done using an open source content management system. Right. Moving forward, probably we can just do a very quick glance on each of these widgets. So this is accounts. So basically this interface interacts with the core banking system, pulls out all the account details, and customer can perform various self-service options, like he or she can freeze the account, set limits, issue a checkbook, and whatnot. Right? Then the next widget is essentially about funds transfer or send money. So by virtue of our experience implementing payment journeys for our customers, we have enabled journeys like NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI, pay to contact. All these journeys we have enabled on the platform, and we have built microservices to kind of orchestrate these entire journeys. So from any banking entity standpoint, we are agnostic to the core systems or the switch which is deployed at the bank's end. Our services seamlessly integrate with those platforms and orchestrate these journeys. Right? One more thing which I like to call out here is the beneficiary management module that we have created, which is very intuitive and leverages AI to a large extent. So if you are making a payment to say your driver, then the driver will start flashing as a recent pay, right? If you are making a monthly payment of your rent, it will get auto added as a beneficiary, right? You can set up favorites, you can do CRUD operations on your beneficiary, set limits and whatnot. I would then like to move to the PFM, which is a personal finance manager tool, right? And of course, bill payments in India, we have done implementation with BBPS, we have done implementation with the Hexagon APIs, which are the billless APIs. And then probably PFM, which is a personal finance manager. So this entire module we have built through our accelerators and solutions. I would like to call out 3 key accelerators or 4 key accelerators that we are using here. One is the spend analyzer. So as you can see, a customer can log in, he or she can see the trend, how they have been spending their money by month, by duration, and by buckets, debits, credits, etc. Then we have also built a transaction categorization which uses generative AI capabilities to scrape information from the internet and help categorize the transactions. So if a customer does a transaction at Haldiram, right, it will be able to identify and call it out as a restaurant transaction. Or if he goes and books a ticket on Make My Trip, it will automatically categorize it as a travel transaction. And the solution has been built using generative AI, which means that it is not very specific to a particular region. We can lift and shift this to any country, any continent, and it will be contextual basis the information available on the internet. Right? Moving on, limits and thresholds. So customer can set limits by category, they can set thresholds, so they can get alerted if they are about to breach the limit. The transactions can be stopped if the limits are breached. And lastly, goals manager, where a customer can set up goals. I want to buy a car, so I can define that I want a car, I want it in 3 years of time, then which car I want. I mean, it all depends upon how augmented we want the journey to be. So you can integrate it with the marketplace. Customer can select a Porsche, for example, and then start saving for it. He can set up a frequency, he can set up an amount that he or she wants to invest on a monthly basis, and build the corpus for that. So this is what largely the customer experience journey is about. Yes, of course, cards is another area where we have done a deep integration and enabled all the standard workflows and capabilities which are very, very typical of the market now. And so this is what the customer experience layer is all about. And then I'll now request Nidhi to take us through EXP, which is our employee experience platform. So looking at the same information data from an employee's lens, from a call center agent's lens, from an operations agent lens, and again, these services are omnipresent. So if a customer can come and set up a beneficiary, an employee can also do a beneficiary operation for that particular customer through the employee experience layer. So the services are reusable and they connect to both the employee interface as well as the customer interface. Nidhi, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Varun, for that great demonstration and the presentation. So just to re-emphasize on what we do in terms of intelligent automation and also nudging in the different AI capabilities that we have built as Xebia, right? I would like to take you through the employee experience layer, but before we start, I do want to understand that within the crowd, right, it's pretty much clear, the CXP or the customer experience layer that Varun just demonstrated talks about you as a customer, right, wherein I believe anybody and everybody of you would be having different banks on your, different banking apps on your mobile, right, whether it's the YONO, the Axis Bank, the HDFC. So the way you use that application is basically you as a customer going through the applications, and the different commands that we provide as the service providers is what makes your life easier, and hence we provide an omni-channel customer experience to the end user. The employee experience that I'm now going to demonstrate talks about the experience from a banking employee perspective, right? So it can be a call center agent, it can be a customer service representative, it can be a branch teller, right? The different roles that you see here in the demonstration that we really want to deep dive into, right? So what you see here on the page is basically a demonstration of the entire dashboard of the customer service representative, right? This shows different trends. Varun, if you can just hold on for a second. This shows different trends with respect to the customer service executive, wherein the number of calls that executive is taking, right? The number of days the executive is present, what are the cases that are logged into the executive, and how much progress is the executive making on those cases, right? So it basically provides an entire snapshot of what your executive, I'm so sorry. It basically provides a snapshot of what the executive is doing, and this dashboard page can actually be utilized by different management consultants, right, within the banks, so that they can have a look on, okay, what is my executive doing on a weekly basis? How good an executive is performing? Is he really meeting the goals he is supposed to meet? Is he really being able to track and meet the KPIs or the KRAs that are assigned to him? And that is where this dashboard comes into play, right? We can now, if you can, Varun, begin the demo, right? We have 3 different personas for this demonstration, wherein you see the dashboards changing because the data points are changing with respect to the employee, right? Every employee has a different KRA or a KPI. Even for the organizations you would be working for, there would be different KRAs and KPIs assigned to you. And the data points with which that, Varun, can you hold for a second? And the data points with which that populates is different, and hence the different portfolios for the different personas that you see here on the demonstration. Now what you see here is a customer snapshot, right? So I was talking about the likes of you and me being the customers of those applications, the Axis Bank, the HDFC, the ICICI. I'm sorry if I'm not taking the names of the bank of people who are already present here, but I do understand you get the gist, right? So this data comes in from there, right? Where we are pulling in the data from the core banking system, the unified engagement layer that Varun referred to in the second slide, right? Where we are taking in and pulling all the data of those customers and putting it into a CIF or a customer information file. Now this is an accelerator that Xebia has built, which basically integrates with the core banking system to pull in the information of each individual that is associated with the bank, right? So let's just say if I'm an Axis Bank employee, my information will be present here attached to the CIF number. So the global search that you see here, or the universal search, you can literally type in my name or type in my unique ID number and pull in the information that is pertaining to me, right? The entire portfolio, or what we call it as the customer 360, right? So let's just talk about David here, right? So we put in David's CIF number, And what we see here is a customer 360 view of David, right? Wherein you see the portfolio of David, wherein you see the recent transactions, wherein you see the leads, and different servicing digitizations. So what this provides, or how does this help the end customer service representative, or how does it help the bank employee? Imagine a case wherein I am calling the ABC Bank of the world and saying that, okay, I am having this problem, right? The general use case is the bank would ask me, okay, can you please tell me your last name, your first name, what is your mobile number, what is your registered mobile number? And with that, the bank will be able to fetch the entire information that is related to me. Imagine the amount of task reduction, the multiple tabs that the bank employee would have to open just to get my data. But Xebia's Customer 360 would provide the entire data at one snapshot, right? It will provide all the account information that you see on the portfolio page, whether it's a saving account, whether it's a checking account, whether it's a loan amount. It would provide the recent transactions that are related to me. It would also provide the leads. So leads is a section that is managed by the intelligent automation platform that Xebia provides, right? Varun, if you can just click on the demo. What you see at the bottom is the spending analysis and the carbon footprint. So the spending analysis is a transaction categorization engine built by Xebia that basically categorizes the spending patterns of the customer. And how does and where does it comes to help? It basically helps you cross-sell and upsell within a single customer, right? There is no more generic prompts that are going to all the Axis Bank employees or all the HDFC Bank employees. There are customized and personalized prompts going in to the customer based on the transaction engine that we have built. And how does that happen in action, right? I will take a deep dive into it. Varun, if you can just play the video. What we can also do within the transaction engine is we can further drill down. So let's just say if I'm a person who shops a lot, or if I'm a person who goes to abroad a lot, right? That transaction engine will be able to drill down on where that transaction is going and how frequently it is going. And based on that, it will be able to nudge or provide me a prompt as to this is the offer that this girl needs. Maybe a Vistara card is something Nidhi needs because she just frequently keeps traveling. Now that offer becomes highly personalized to me with the help of AI. And this is not a manual thing that the person is doing, but with the help of AI, that becomes very easy for me. The second thing that the portfolio also does is tracks the carbon footprint. I remember the gentleman from HSBC who was there with us just before this presentation talking about sustainability, right? So like I talked about Xebia being present across 19 locations across the world, right? Most of our European customers already have this regulatory compliance to meet sustainability goals by 2030. It's not like India where people are talking about, I'm going to be a carbon neutral company by 2040. It's not that long for them, right? It's today, it's right here, right now for them. So we have already rolled out within our Customer 360 module this carbon footprint wherein the emission factor is calculated based on each customer, right? And how does that really help the bank is that it really helps in the sustainability goals the bank really has within the customer and also within their own enterprise. We can do a similar functionality with respect to the carbon footprint where we can drill down on where exactly and how much expense the customer is making which is impacting the environment, right? Now what you see here on the top right are services digitization. Now when we talk about servicing digitizations, it is nothing but where we are hand-holding the bank employee or the customer service representative to take quick actions with respect to the customer, right? So there are so many actions, whether it's updating a nominee, whether it's adding a beneficiary, whether doing any transfer funds. Sometimes the customer is not able or not capable of doing that. So the customer service representative should be able to make those changes on a click of a call. Whenever, let's just say a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old grandma is calling a customer service representative and she really forgot to add a beneficiary or to add a nominee to the amount that she has left there, right? So you must have been hearing so many cases of different funds being stuck at the bank. And that is how that comes into picture. On a click of a button, by providing few details, we enable the customer service representative to basically go ahead and take these quick actions, right? That's literally within a minute. just like these servicing actions, we have automated more than 40 plus workflows that goes into the customer 360. So that is the depth and the length of how we have provided solutions within the customer 360. Now I'll take a minute here in the cross-sell and upsell section, right? So I previously talked about the transaction categorization engine, right, which is AI powered, built by Xebia. What this does is, it basically personalizes the offer that is sent to us. So you literally saw the monsoon offer, the monsoon bonanza offer that Varun was talking about, right? Let's just talk about a use case where I am spending a lot on hospitalization bills, right? So I had my mother, I literally had my mother go for a cataract operation 1 month back. And then 8 months back, I had my father go through a cataract operation. What the system really sees is I'm doing different kind of transactions and a lot of transactions on health-related stuff, right? What the engine will nudge or what the engine will prompt the customer service representative is to provide me that offer to do a health insurance. Why? Because it's hyper-personalized to me. This is the time the engine is able to make sure that this is the offer that caters more to Nidhi, right? This is the offer that caters more to her request. Maybe this is the high time for her to go for an insurance, right? So this is how the entire personalization of the engine works into play, which is built by Xebia. If you could just, begin. Varun? So this basically provides a snapshot of what all the entire customer 360 looks like, right? I talked about the portfolio where the information is fetched from the core banking system, right? And the transactions as well. We also have information related to the demographics, which is the personal information, the professional information, the RM details for the customer service representative. The next in line we have are the portfolio. So this is nothing but a drill down of what you saw in the first dashboard section, right? So every single time, let's just say a customer calls in and really wants to understand what has happened in this loan account, why the transaction was declined, why the transaction was not solved. It brings a consolidated view of the entire card management system that Xebia's Customer 360 integrates with and provides this view to the customer service representative. If you can go to the next one, Varun. Now, what you see here are the transactions. So I think it's one of the most generic cases that you see here. We also keep seeing it a lot of times happening on LinkedIn where people are posting and talking about XYZ amount deducted from my bank and nobody's taking action. This is the request number. Can XYZ bank please help? And then we have multiple reps coming in from the bank and talking about, yeah, we are looking into your case and everything, right? So this is where it comes into picture, right? This is how it gets solved. All the transactions that the customer has made, irrespective of the tens and the thousands of accounts he or she holds in the bank, your customer service representative has a power to see the holistic view of their accounts and the different transactions. The global search that you see on the top will really provide the ammunition to the CSR agent to be able to understand, okay, this is the account where this transaction happened, and to be able to raise a dispute that you see on the right-hand side corner along that case. So this dispute will be logged in as a case within that customer portfolio. So until that case is taken to closure, nobody really posts about your bank on LinkedIn or talks about any Twitter channel about how he or she is dissatisfied with the bank, right? So this is about the transaction page.
So, Nidhi, time is up.
Oh, am I over time? Okay.
So probably just to quickly wrap up, so we just wanted to show some more capabilities around case management, document management, where all the documents within the bank across any system can be centralized at one location. And then we wanted to give you a walkthrough of how a particular service request has been automated, right? But I think the time is limited.
Yes.
We can just.
I think we have just built so many things that I couldn't like sum it up in time. But we would be really happy to take your queries and provide you an in-depth demonstration of the solution at our Xebia booth. You can find it exactly when you enter the office, and we are present here till 5 p.m. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Team Xebia, for keeping it short.